Hello, greetings YouTube. Welcome back, Dorsey's Resource. First, before we get started, I'd like to give a disclaimer. This video is for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. Please understand that everyone's individual circumstance or situation may be different. It's up to every individual competent person. Please do his or her own homework and research regarding this matter being discussed. This information is not to be construed as legal advice. If you need to seek a competent lawyer, certified public accountant, psychiatrist, consultant, or whomever, please do so at your own leisure. Dorsey's Resource is not responsible for any misuse of this information. These are simply my opinions and views. With that being said, I reserve all my rights. Now, let's get started. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I'm your host, John Dorsey at Dorsey's Resource. The topic of this video, I wanted this to be called Must Watch Documentaries. I highly recommend, oftentimes because of the type of information that I go over and other truthers or people part of the awakening movement out there get labeled conspiracy theorists. But I wanted to show you I do have credible information. I myself, I want to let you know, I am college educated. There's other credentials I can go into. I have friends who were former military that had secret security clearances. Of course, I won't mention who they were. This shows credibility and reputability behind the information that I'm going over. Because people out there ask, is there any evidence? And you had this thing recently where Facebook and Twitter put out this information about fake news. Well, actually, you have a lot of mainstream media that actually puts out fake news, but you have to remember the all the news agencies are controlled by like several major corporations. Just to name a few: Viacom, Time Warner, Disney, and Reuters. I definitely know Viacom and Time Warner are up there, and Disney. They actually bought out ABC, so they set the precedence for what the reporters go over. But without further ado, I want you guys to share this information with your friends, family members, and loved ones. I plead with you, please. This information is highly important because we are in some danger as far as this thing going on out here. Not just referring to the election between Trump and Hillary, one of the most polarizing elections, as they say, in U.S. history. It goes much deeper. Please take a microscopic, in-depth look at this information. Just don't dismiss it. This information is very real, very serious. Trust me. And you may have to watch these documentaries and information like several times to digest it and really get a accurate prognosis. First documentary I want everyone to please watch. I sincerely beg of you, please watch this documentary. And most of all these documentaries you can watch for free on YouTube. That's why I'm going over while it's still available. You can find software to download them. Also, if you do have the money, please support these people who produce these documentaries. Some people have risked their lives sharing this information, just something to keep in mind. But I wanted to be like an outlet to provide you all credible information. First documentary, please watch. It's called Conspiracy of Silence. And I'll spell it out for you. C is in cup, O is in Oscar, N is in Nancy, S is in Sam, P is in Paul, I is in Icarus, R is in Robert, A is in Allen, C is in cup, Y is in Yolanda, of silence, O is in Oscar, F as in Frank, S is in Sam, I is in Icarus, L is in Larry, E is in Edward, N is in Nancy, C is in cup, E is in Edward. Conspiracy of Silence. Please watch that documentary. You can watch it for free on YouTube. I think it will provide a culmination of some of the information I've gone over. I've tried to share with people. It'll help you connect the pieces because you have to see that deals with the corruption within certain people within government. And I want to say I'm not anti-government. I'm anti-corruption. To give you an understanding, what you have is corrupt people who've hijacked our government, who've infiltrated it, that hire operatives or have underlings that or henchmen that work for them that don't have good intentions, that basically make money off working the campaigns, selling people lies and false hopes and things of that nature that they don't never do. But please check out this documentary. It's called Conspiracy of Silence. It deals with human trafficking and some other things. I won't spoil it for you guys. The second documentary is called Endgame. This was produced by Alex Jones. Please watch Endgame. It's very one of the most powerful documentaries I've ever saw. Number three is called Ma'afa 21, spelled M as in Matthew, A as in Allen, A as in Allen, F as in Frank, A as in Allen, 21. It's called Ma'afa 21. Just type that on YouTube. Must watch documentary. I hear a lot of African Americans, black people say you need to watch Hidden Colors. I've seen part one through three personally, but Alex Jones used to actually sell this documentary on his website. So for people out there that claim he's racist, this, that, and the other, he's actually interviewed a lot of black guests, reached out to a lot of black people, has tried to encourage African Americans, people of color, to wake up and become activists. So he's done a major job. InfoWars is an awesome website. Black people, don't buy the lies. Please check out his website as well. But this documentary, he interviewed a pastor who was featured in this documentary named Pastor Clenard Childress with blackgenocide.org. This is a very powerful documentary and a must-watch documentary for those out there that think that they really know what's going on with eugenics and genocide. I won't spoil it for you all. Number four, watch Fall of the Republic. It's another good documentary. It was produced by Alex Jones. Number five is a documentary called Farmageddon. Believe I know the concept already. Some of these documentaries I have to go over again myself. I haven't watched or finished watching. Another documentary, number six, is Genetic Roulette. Number five was Farmageddon, just to go over. Number six is Genetic Roulette. Number seven is Seeds of Death. These deal with the poisoning of the food supply, how and one of the or some of the documentaries may mention about Monsanto, how they've been going around the world poisoning the crops. That's in the documentary I'm going to mention next, called Scientists Are Under Attack. That's number 8, where they actually showed evidence that Monsanto Corporation had been going around the world and genetically altering the crops. And Monsanto, I found out from a friend of mine, thanks to his information brought by David Duke, that he mentioned that the Jews, Monsanto is also a Jewish family. The name, when you study the bloodlines, the name Mon means mountain, and Santo deals with saint. So it's symbolic with holy mountain or Zion. And he said they go back to slavery times where they would poison the crops of black slaves, because contrary to popular belief, the Jews or Jewish people own more slaves than white people did. There's a lot of black people out here don't understand that there's some white people out here that are not bad. There are good people that do have your back, who do care. But it was actually Jews who owned more slaves and had more control because of their connections to the banking system and control, by the way. So keep that in mind. Monsanto that's the actual name of a family. That's a corporation. There's people that's attached. They have a business or trust account that's attached to making money off that, but they're using their wealth for corrupt purposes. They're not using it for sincere purposes to empower humanity. And it hurts white and black people, all sorts of people, when they put chemicals in our food, and major corporations that are causing harm to our agriculture and food supply. So this is something very important that these documentaries go over, and they mention solid, credible evidence out there. So please keep that in mind. The next documentary is number 9, deals with the banking system. It's called Money Masters. Please watch that. It's a very educational documentary. You can watch for free on YouTube. Number 10 is a documentary that's related. This documentary is called Monopoly Men. My cousin told me some years ago that a lot of people woke up after watching this documentary. It's shorter than Money Masters, but it gets to the point. It shows you basically who they refer to as the Illuminati. And keep in mind, the Illuminati is also used like an umbrella term to describe an elite group of people that are financial brokers that have a lot of wealth and power, where they are into things like they use their wealth for corrupt, negative purposes, for running child sex trafficking rings, for poisoning our food supply, or bringing drugs in the country. Yes, because they control the banking system, they have a stranglehold on the banks, which certain people have been trying to stop, to put checks and balances in place to make sure that it's not being abused, but that's what's been going on for a number of years. But these documentaries will provide insight for you. Number 11 documentary is called End of Liberty. I think that was put out by the National Inflation Association. You can watch for free on YouTube. Very excellent documentary. I don't want to spoil it for you all. I still remember what that's about. And it's called End of Liberty. Number 12 documentary. This is the last one I'm going to mention on the list for college students, young millennials out there. It's just called College Conspiracy. This girl I used to talk to in Cleveland some years ago got a chance to see the documentary after I shared it with her, and she said it was a very excellent documentary that went over how they lure people into the loans and stuff with college because that connects to the banking system and the corruption that's going on. And I want to say, let my subscribers know, Trump, in case some of you out there may not be aware, he's not a bad guy. He's one of the good cabal, one of the few people that are billionaires out there who really cares and has the power to actually help humanity. Things. Please do your research, but a lot of people perceive and think that all rich people are evil. I'm not saying that, so please don't misinterpret that when I mention deal with the banking system or people high up or certain families. There are people who do care. I'm not saying there may be a lot of them, but we need more good people to actually care about the middle class and poor who can help level the playing field against the criminal cabal that is using their wealth for corrupt purposes to enslave humanity. And this is very real. And if you did watch this video up until this point, I want to thank you guys sincerely for joining me. At Dorsey's Resource, I'm your host, John Dorsey. Please don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, take care.